All right. So about a week ago, on March 1st or 2nd, 2023, I did a card reading on Will Smith because the universe kept bugging me. Over 2020, I did a bunch of card readings on people like Jay-Z, which, by the way, Jay-Z, how do you get the worst card reading of all time? How do you pull all the cards out of my deck and just have all the negative ones thrown at you? You had the thief, you had the death card, which I say is the devil card, who manipulates your emotions, which his arm looks like a flute with music. It dances on their graves, then transitioned into the high priestess, and then went into another card that we will finish this card up with to show you that these people are aware of what they're doing. Now, I've been watching a lot of videos and I'm glad a lot of people are waking up, but I keep seeing a lot of people saying, these are just the puppets. These are just the puppets. Some of these puppets are awake. And that was my question for Will Smith. And I really didn't care about it. And I did the card reading, and it was kind of like a common sense. So let's look at this card reading as card reading 101. Let me show you how to read some cards, what I see, not just illustrations on a card or a deck, but what does the universe tell me? Because that's what's communicating to me. It's the universe, all that is positive and then the light that is going to shine luminous on the dark. And they try to bend and twerk the words, and Will Smith tried to do the same thing when he accepted that Oscar. And so did his wife, and all this plays a part. Now I could see the card reading's meaning. The only reason I didn't post it is because I had this damn bump on my forehead right here, okay? And I was hoping it was just a pimple, but it wasn't. I had to have it removed the other day. I think it was March 8th. So the only reason I didn't post this card reading 2 weeks ago or a week ago was because I was letting this thing see if it was a pimple or not, but it turned out it wasn't. So you can see my third eye keeps getting attacked, and I keep getting things dug out of my forehead, which at this point I just find is funny because you could see my third eye being shown in multiple occasions. And I am a tarot card reader, and I could peek into the future. And more important than that, I can peek into whoever the hell I want after 2020, after the cabal has shown itself. I've been given the green light. With that being said, let's get into this card reading because this card reading shows who the cabal is. And just like Tucker Carlson, who was trying to release the January 6th videos, was silenced, we could see how the cabal works and how it silenced Tucker Carlson and how it will control everything and how these people communicate to themselves and the dots are being connected. Now, I stopped doing card readings in 2020 because I was appalled. I will put my Jay-Z card reading below where I was appalled. The guy had the worst card reading I've ever done. The first card was the thief, the same card I pulled in Miley Cyrus's thing that led me astray from her, and I had to look at her dad, and I assumed it was her dad, and I am correct after all of this stuff that's gone down with the Little Nas X and all this stuff, and all if you look back at the Crowley and all the little 33s and all the little funny things they like to do in that Santa Montana, Hannah Montana, whatever it is thing, and then we go back to George Carlin, who said this is a cabal. This is a club, and you and I ain't in it. And now we're starting to see how the club connects to itself, right? Uses a lot of things like the 33, and I can go here and I can show you how they drew a little penis in the Little Mermaid, and I could show you how they were on Crowley Street in 33. But I ain't gonna do all that. I'm gonna show you what the cards tell me because I'm a tarot card reader, which means I am a sign decipherer. I can see your signs and symbols and what you're trying to do, and then decipher it, and then connect to the universe, which communicates to me metaphysically, and then I manifest it, and then I manifest it through this magical phone right here, and then you can see it if you choose to or not. Doesn't matter. It just knows that the cabal and this evil people that are doing ritual magics, like um, let's do Megan Fox, who's doing blood rituals and talking about Shotgun Tom Kelly, who was a hardcore rapper from Cleveland one day, and then wearing nails and pearl necklaces with kittens all around his neck to symbolize what he symbolized and where he's going and where they want to take us. But with that being said, I pulled this card reading because I wanted to know one thing about Will Smith. Is he of knowledge of what he is doing? And I got that question answered in the same card that I pulled with Jay-Z. Like I said, the thief, I pulled with him. The devil, who is the death card, who plays with your emotions, whose arm looks like a flute to me, playing with your emotions, that led into the high priestess, who is his wife, Beyonce. And then at the end will be the card that finishes this card read. So we'll get into it. With further ado, let's go into the card read. Okay, here we are. This card read starts out smooth and cool because this who was Will Smith at one time. He could take chances. He was the light bearer, like he said in his Oscar acceptance, while he had that hidden hand, and we're gonna get in that hand oh so much. But this was him. He could just step. It didn't matter what he did. He could do rap. He could do hip hop. He could do television. He could do theater. He could do whatever he wanted because it just worked for him. You see how the Princess of Cups just takes a step into the water and a turtle just comes up and just like a bearer of light, like you said, Will, because this is your karma, stepped up for him and made sure that he could walk across water almost. And that's what he was for so long, for so many people. And this is one of the reasons I didn't want to do the card reading again when I first did it, because I didn't know if Chris Rock was part of it, if it was planned. But after Chris Rock, after the past week that I just did the card reading, came out and just slammed him and his wife, I realized Chris Rock was not a part of that. Okay, and now he's taking the backlash and the heat. But whatever, because comedians need to start being bold, just like me with my card readings, and being bold and just putting it out there for all to see. Let's go to the next card. That boldness and that universe that Will Smith played so well gave him and bared him fruits of all sorts. He could have whatever he wanted. He could pick whatever woman he wanted. The fruit was his for the choosing. What did he want to do? Did you want to do music, Will? Did you want a woman, Will? Did you want a family, Will? What did you want? Well, guess what? You got it all, and you eventually got your woman. This right here is the Two of Cups. These, if you look at it, it's a lover's card. That is an entangled, almost natural seeming with a little heart. You see at the top right there? That is a entangled, almost natural lover's card of two people coming together. Their cups are filled. Look at the cups. Look at this fish coming out of the cups. They're filled. They're holding a cup. That's you guys, or at least it seemed. Because what came next? This little sumbitch. It was almost as if a spell had been cast in it. Look what's at the bottom. What came out of this? Look at the bottom of the card. Those are dead swans. Those are the skeletons from your closet. Who released those? Who had a spell over Will Smith at the Oscars? Who looked at him because of a joke from a comedian's mouth and made that man, almost like Zoolander, turn into that assassin to kill the Dalai Lama? It was none other than Jada Pinkett, because she was not your yin or yang, but maybe she was your yin and yang because she was the opposite of everything you were. And she put a spell on you, and we all saw it be cast when she looked at you, and you went up there and smacked a grown-ass man named Chris Rock, a comedian. And you know what happened? That little bluebird, that little hummingbird enlightened it. And that was her. She showed your skeletons in your closet on that red table to be displayed to all, and that is where your anger came from, as if a spell had been placed amongst you. And you know what? You're not Mr. Innocent, Will, although Jada is a lot to blame. And this card reading is very important. You see here, that is a man and a woman on a trail. Look behind them. You see the two castles? Do you see it? You see all the gold, you see all the Oscars and Grammys on their feet. She doesn't care. She doesn't even have shoes on. She's in rattered and tattered clothing. And this guy, he's lost. He didn't listen to the mystic that sold him the map along the way. He didn't listen. And now they're stuck in her dreams and what she wants. She doesn't care about another Oscar. That's why she didn't care about the Oscars. She never cared to boycott the Oscars. It was all about her ideology. It was all about what she thought. It was all about her blackness, her wokeness, her Hollywoodness. This is what we're up against. These egomaniacal people that aren't even talented, that are controlling the puppets, like Will Smith. But Will Smith, you are no saint. You got lost along the way, and this is why the universe is going to put you in the eye of the storm. Do you see that? You are in the eye of the storm. You are an example for Hollywood to show exactly what they are going to be releasing, and to show the connections between your wife, the rap game, the music game, and all of you. You are all in the eye of the storm. And I found it so ironic because I didn't even want to do this card reading that my third eye keeps getting tampered with and I keep having to dig it out. I don't know if that's by plan, a joke, I don't know. I'll take it as a joke. But with that being said, my third eye is open to you, and from now on, I will be watching the Super Bowl halftime reports, the Oscars, and all these award ceremonies, and I will be channeling and manifesting information from the universe unto all of you. Okay? Because I am a tarot card reader and I understand the signs and symbols. I understood after you smacked Chris Rock and then still accepted the ceremonial award and saw your little hand tucked into your jacket to show the hidden hand, the hidden cabal that is behind all this, the puppet, the hidden hand that is controlling you and the rest of the puppets of Hollywood. And it was with this next card that I understood. You are aware of everything you do. I pulled this with Jay-Z. The triangle, I told you your signs and symbols are going to bite you in the ass. Do you see the man that stands above a sleeping lion? That wants to control all, this cabal that wants no CO2 so the plants can die and then floss it in front of your face and mock us? Do you see why the triangle that you and Jay-Z keep flossing and Rihanna at the Super Bowl halftime is going to be your downfall? Your signs and symbols are going to be your downfall. I said in the past I was going to tattoo these on your neck. Do you understand? This is the most ironic card reading I've ever seen. This is so funny because it's just there it is. Your right hand that you slapped Chris Rock with is in your card reading that I just randomly pulled, just like I always do, and I'll show you how I do the card readings. I'll put them in the listing below, in the description below, and you'll be able to see I don't make these things up. These are straight pulled and manifested from the universe, from my plate to your plate. And we will continue to see stars in Hollywood exposed from here on out because they have to show themselves now. It is a form of ritual magic, and this is why they do their award ceremonies at the halftime of the Super Bowl with Rihanna, continued from the Grammys, from the Oscars, from wherever, and now we can see it. So understand, when they throw the pyramid up, that is throwing up their supremacy above you. These people have bitten the apple that the high priestess has held up so bright. They are not so innocent. They are not all puppets. Some of these puppets are aware of what they're doing, and they're in on it. And that's why Will Smith has been in so much predictive programming. These movies like White Noise that showed you a train derailment that leaked chemicals on Netflix. This is why I don't own Netflix. This is why I didn't know Chris Rock was coming out with this, because I don't watch Netflix, because I sat through a pandemic and watched a movie called Pandemic on Netflix. The pre-predictive programming is coming up on you because you guys have to eventually admit what you're doing, and we're in that phase right now. And with that being said, you're going to have decoders like myself, sign readers like myself, that will use a different form of magic, a different form of ritual magic, like Megan Fox uses with bloodletting with Shotgun Tom Kelly and all this stuff that they do. And you could see the almost MK Ultra mind control over Will Smith that snapped him in a quarter of a second on the Oscars. You're being shown because you guys are now in the eye of the storm. Do you get it? With that being said, you can catch me at Mikey Romero 8521 on YouTube or at Rumble at Mikey Romero. I got many more card readings to come and many more surprises to come. Not only with the tarot can I peer into the future, but I can peer into any human, any person, any entity I would like to. And as I continue to unfold these card readings, that is going to become nothing but 100% proof. I guarantee it. With that being said, peace out.